Hi guys, today I thought I'd do something a little bit different. As many of you know, September is Suicide Prevention Month, and usually around this time of year I write a big long status with a lot of statistics and facts and websites, and it's very impersonal, but it just gets across what I want to say. But this year I thought I would do something just a little bit different and tell my own story. My story starts when I was about 7 or 8, I'd say, in primary school, and I was bullied for my weight. At the time, I was admittedly, yes, I was a little bit bigger than most children, however, I was still a healthy weight for my age, and I was bullied for it. God knows, kids are cruel. And that was, you know, I'd sort of brushed it off. I didn't have many friends in primary school, but I didn't take much from it at that age. But it did carry on. When I went to high school, it got worse. I mean, kids in high school are horrible, awful people. So when I was in year 7 or 8, I was 12 years old. I started to feel just a little bit down. It wasn't all the time, maybe like 3 or 4 days a month at first. It was very, very gradual. I didn't notice what was happening until it started getting more and more and more. And then I began self-harming when I was still 12 at this point. It was a very difficult time for me. I self-harmed from when I was 12 to 17. I'm 18 now. I've only just recently stopped self-harming, and this isn't something I would usually do. I'm not doing it for attention seeking, but if I had looked 5 years into the future and looked at myself now and looked at what my arm looks like now, I would have never started. Because you can't really see it as well here, but I have a lot of scars. It's difficult for me to wear short sleeves. So summer's kind of very uncomfortable for me. I do wear short sleeves, but it's very uncomfortable for me. I don't feel great when I wear short sleeves. But when I was 12 and when I was 13, it was just the self-harm, and it was the low moods. And then when I was 14, I started to feel even worse. The moods were just getting lower and lower and lower, and I started having suicidal thoughts. I never acted on this. Not for a long time. I never acted on it. Because part of me was, as much as I wanted to die, part of me was scared that I would actually succeed and I wouldn't be alive anymore. It was a very scary thought, but I wanted to die. When I was 15, I went to my school, and I went and asked for help. Because the self-harm had gotten really bad. It had gotten to the point where I was self-harming in school. And I was having suicidal thoughts all the time. And I asked my school for help. And they put me in contact with a social worker who was, you know, she was really nice. And she eventually convinced me to go to my GP. Who sent me to CAMHS. If anybody doesn't know what CAMHS is, it's a UK service that stands for Children and Adolescent Mental Health Service, I think. And I started doing group therapy. I'm actually thankful for this because I did meet some amazing friends at this therapy. We weren't supposed to talk to each other, but I've left there now, obviously, with me being 18. So we are friends, and I'm really grateful for getting to meet them. I did have a bad experience with cams, but I'll get to that in a bit. When I was 16, I attempted to kill myself. I haven't told many people about this. I had just kind of had enough. I didn't want to live anymore. And I just gathered all the painkillers that I had in my house and I just started to take them. And I didn't care. I didn't care who I was leaving behind. I didn't care who would be sad after I was gone. I just wanted out. I wanted it all to just stop. But maybe somebody was on my side, because when I was like halfway through all of the tablets that I could find, my friend called me and I just snapped out of it. And I listened to her talk and I told her what I'd done, because I was scared now. And the reality of what I was doing had hit me and I was so scared, and I told her what I'd done. And she made me go to the toilet and make myself sick. I never went to hospital, as stupid as it sounds. I never went to hospital, which was such an idiot thing to do. I could have died. I never went to hospital. I just threw up and slept it off. And just tried to pretend like it had never happened. But I never tried it again. I wouldn't ever try it again. So this was when I was 16. I wasn't doing anything with my life at this point. I had attempted sixth form, but I didn't like it. I had kind of a bit of a breakdown, and then just left because I hated it so much, and it was making my mental health worse. And then I wasn't doing anything, and that was making my mental health worse, and I was convinced that I was never going to make anything of my life. But I was convinced to apply back to college and do a BTEC, and the self-harm had continued. And I remember I had a friend staying at mine, and I went and got in the shower because I didn't want her to know that I'd been self-harming. So I went and did it in the shower, and I cut too deep, ended up in hospital. My mum doesn't even know about that. I went with my friend. She took me to hospital and she waited with me. And I was out within like 3-4 hours. They spoke to my CAMS group therapist, who came and saw me, and then just let me go. So I went back to college, and I was actually kind of happier at this point. I felt like I was doing something better with my life now. So, you know, I was good, I was okay. And then there was an incident with CAMS, which I will just touch upon because CAMS is not for everyone. Some people prefer medication, some people, you know, prefer to have private therapy. I left CAMS in a bad way. I had an argument with my therapists and felt very minimised, like my problems weren't important, like my concerns weren't important, so I left. But some people do work well with CAMS. That's just my personal experience. And now I'm happier. Something has changed for me recently because I'm so much happier with my life. I don't self-harm anymore. I don't have these suicidal thoughts, you know, and I'm just better. I feel better in myself, and I'm glad for that. And I just want to thank a few people who have really sort of helped me through this. I want to thank my family, my mum in particular, for just being there for me whenever I needed her. And I thank my friends who always, without fail, were there. Just whenever I needed them, whenever I needed somebody to talk to, to vent to, they were always there. Two of my best friends, Rebecca and Izzy, I love you two so much. And Izzy I've only known for a year but has helped me through so much already. I want to thank the strangers who didn't even know me but noticed that I wasn't happy and tried to help me. The people who noticed my scars and asked if they could help, who didn't even know me. I want to thank all of you people. It just restores my faith in humanity. And here is the part where I do spout some statistics. In 2013, there were 6,708 suicides in the UK and Ireland. And male suicide is at its highest since 2001. The highest number of suicides occur in males aged 45 to 49, but is the most common cause of death in males under 35. Overall suicide rates have been steadily increasing since 2007, however they are falling in females. And contrary to what people might tell you, you do not have to have a bad life to be suicidal. If anybody tells you to suck it up because you have a good life and you have this and you have that, ignore them, because you have every right to feel the way you do. You are perfectly valid. Anybody can be suicidal, and 3/4 of people who are suicidal aren't in contact with mental health services, which is terrifying. That is a scary thought, because there are so many people who are hurting and are too scared to get help because of the people who are telling them, no, you can't be unhappy because you have a good life. You know, you have money, you have a family who loves you. What right do you have to be unhappy? And it's not like that at all. Depression is caused by a chemical imbalance in the brain, not by bad circumstances. Okay, I'm going to end this video now. I'm going to leave some links in the description. The links to the information that I have given in this video, and some links of places you can go if you are feeling suicidal, people you can talk to. You can always talk to me, just message me on, you know, I'll leave links to my social networks in the description. You can talk to me, if anyone, just me, and I can help you. I love you guys.